Hey guys, how are you all this week? It was really nice to see some of you at church this week. Even though we can't do our lessons in church, it was really nice to be able to see your faces and see the smiles, and it lights up my day to see you all. I just want to send a shout out and a hello to Coraline, who was at home today, and to my niece Callie. I miss you, kiddo. Today I'd like to start by talking to you about parables and their use, and then give you a short parable and a message involving each. So I'm going to start by talking about parables and their use. And in Matthew it says, "Why speakest thou unto them in parables?" Well, a parable is a short and realistic story with a spiritual meaning. It is not a fable, such as Aesop's When Animals Talk, for it is true to life. It's not an allegory, the Pilgrim's Progress, where all the details of the significant story are significant. For the parable generally has one main point, and the details are simply to make the story vivid and interesting. Nor is it a proverb, which has been called a concentrated parable. Many of Jesus' sayings might easily have been expanded into parables. Can the blind lead the blind? In Luke. And the physicians heal themselves? Also in Luke, are examples. Jesus used parables, one, because plain teaching might have been rejected at once, but a story would stick in their minds, and they would remember willy-nilly. So that ordinary people might listen, benefit. The scribe's teaching, by contrast, was involved and dull. Hearing the parables is not understanding them, for that the people must use their minds to puzzle out the meaning and the application of the story. The message of Jesus would have rejoiced the hearts of earlier messengers of God. So our first parable lesson will be the one of sewing a patch onto unshrunk cloth. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth onto an old coat, for then the patch tears away from the coat and leaves a bigger hole. No more do you put new wine into old wineskins. If you do, the skins would burst, and then the wine would run out and the skins are spoiled. No, you put new wine into fresh skins, then both are preserved. And this story is from Matthew. Jesus' experience of village life in all varied aspects was a quarry from which he drew the raw material of his polished tales. They are gems of simplicity which yet cannot conceal the care he must have taken in their composition. He used the common things of earth to illustrate the life of the soul. Here are some of his subjects, all well known to his hearers: sowing, baking, plowing, to a corrupt judge, a friend's unexpected arrival, a widow, a vineyard, a wedding, a fishing net, a wayward son, a rich landowner, a beggar, a publican, a priest, house building, sheep, sweeping a house, wineskins, old clothes, are all things that Jesus used in his parables. In fact, if he did what today's passage mentions, he put the new wine of the gospel of the kingdom into the new bottles of the parable. It is interesting to note that St. John's gospel has no parables. The vine and the good shepherd are rather allegories. Mark has only one parable not found elsewhere: the seed growing secretly. Most of the parables are found in St. Matthew and St. Luke. Guys, I look forward to teaching you more about parables, and yes, I'm working on more of my own perspectives, but this week I run a little out of time. I hope that through these we can learn quite a bit of lessons from Jesus in the walking through of the parables and learning the lessons that he's trying to teach us through them. You see, I can give you my opinions of the parables and what I think they mean, but each parable is for each one of us to bring our own meaning and our own thoughts, and to have it's to make us think outside the box and think in Christ's way. It was so nice to see some of you this week. I still miss many more of you, and I hope to see you all again very soon. This week I'd like to talk to your parents about the parables. Ask them about what they think it means, where with putting new wine in old wineskins. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. I love each and every one of you. God bless.